should be live.
Yay, hello world.
Alright, let's let everyone in chat know that we're back live here. TVGP went way longer than I thought it would.
I was wondering about that too. I was like, wait, if he's going to record us right after TVGP, what?
Yeah, it ended at like 3:30, which is pretty rare.
And I'm pretty bendable on times when it comes to Sunday, so like if this does become a regular thing, crap, I am not going to do good today. Yeah, if it does become a regular thing, if you run late with TVGP and then you want to take a break and get food, I know I'd probably be able to work with that easily.
Okay. Alright. My computer just went really dumb.
Just a little bit.
Okay, it looks like it's getting happier now.
Rifle in the background. Oh, you're seeing my mic stand.
Oh,
Like,
I was about to say, I was like, that does look a little bit...
welcome to the Survivalist channel, where,
Yeah.
I don't own a gun. I'd like to own a gun, but I don't own a gun.
We're both in Texas.
Oh, I'm in Oklahoma, actually.
Oh, you're in Oklahoma? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, I go to Dallas sometimes for shows or events or things, but, no.
I'm gonna fall in. I guess it's this way.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Okay. I think I am ready to start. You guys have your what you been playing?
Yep.
As short as they
Yeah.
may be. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Picking Up the Pixels. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me is my faithful troop of companions, Musum.
Hello!
And Mina.
Hi.
And the only announcement is a new episode of TVGP came out today. And if you don't watch the show live, and we do this every first Saturday of the month, maybe Sunday going forth, at twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. If you want to watch us record it, it's archived there and on the YouTube channel. It's on the right-hand side of the page, along with all of the other fun links like RSS and forums and all that good stuff. So let's move right into what you've been playing, Musum.
Okay, so I started off this month and went over to my good friend Joey's house from the carousel, and he had Diablo 3 for PS3,
Ooh, yeah.
and I played that with him for a couple hours. I did a female sorceress, and he briefly went, like, I didn't realize this, I guess you probably already know this, Boston, since you played it so much, but the cow level item, you can just pass around through all your characters and constantly revisit it, evidently.
Yeah, they did a lot of really cool things with Diablo 3 where they bind some of that stuff to your account and not necessarily your character. So there's a lot of stuff they were doing with WoW as well, which is really great because you only have to go through the pain and torture of getting it once.
Yeah, and it was pretty awesome. Granted, us being level... I don't even remember. We only played for a few hours, so level 4, 5-ish? I don't know.
Level way too low.
Yes. Level, we immediately got slaughtered by the very hilarious inhabitants of...
Yeah, of Whimsyshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
That's a really great area. I'm glad that they continued that sort of joke in Diablo 3.
The game kind of trips me out since you just kind of get all the skills. Like, I know it's probably the better move as far as like designing a skill tree thing like this, but it's so different than what I'm used to. And maybe I've misinterpreted that, but it really just seemed like my guy was always auto-leveling, and then I just chose what power I wanted in what slot.
Yeah, and there's elective modes. You can assign multiple powers from one category to different buttons. So that makes it a little bit easier, but it is sort of odd playing a Diablo game where it's like, you leveled up, you got these skills, and it's like, oh, well, oh, okay. Thought I had like a talent tree, but...
Yeah, I don't... Yeah, I don't know. Good enough though, because otherwise I would have wanted the Borderlands situation where they reset. But
Yeah. Or and you don't have that one friend you're playing with who's like, hold on, I need to go through my talent tree. And like 45 minutes later, you're like, oh my god, please, I just want to play this game.
I think the funniest part was is I logged into his wife's account, who's also Lauren from the carousel, and
Mm.
it auto named my character Lauren.
Oh man, I'll
Uh,
just run with that.
yeah, sure, why not?
Lauren the sorcerer, sorceress.
That's And then I dived head back long into Dark Souls for quite a bit.
Ooh.
Um, the kind of where I left off is I was trying to get through the Bell Gargoyles. My character build was I was doing a pyromancer with a spear and shield. The big, actually I don't remember what the shield's name is. The Night Shield, maybe? I think it's a Night Shield. The one that blocks, I think, 100% damage.
Ooh, nice.
The the Bell Gargoyles were really difficult to me because I kind of play the game in that I don't ever want to bother with learning to counter and
Yeah.
learning all the animations.
Well, they
Which
just
is why-
it's just so hard.
Yeah, and it just takes one sleepy moment and then your guy's dead because
Yeah.
you didn't block at the right time. But and the shield and the spear kind of negates some of that. Unfortunately, the Bell Gargoyles are still insane, and it was kind of humorous because I was fighting one and I knocked off his tail, and I was like, "Man, this isn't so bad. I'm going to get him." And then another one showed up. I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh."
god. Never mind.
And then it was it was just kind of craziness from there. But I eventually beat them.
Yes.
And discovered like while I was trying to play them, I thought, well, maybe I'll go join someone else's game, and I couldn't figure out how to do that. And I'm like,
Oh,
am I missing something? And I got online, and it turns out like way like in the middle of the freaking level there's I can't remember the guy's name. He's a very cheerful guy. When you run into him, he's like, praise be to the sun, and raises his arms, but he gives you a white stone that allows you to do multiplayer, and I evidently didn't talk to him enough to get that.
Oh yeah, it's one of those great From Software things where it's like, oh, you didn't talk to this dude in this alley in the second level. Well, I guess you're
Yeah.
not doing this stuff then.
Pretty much. Like if you want to read and write messages, you got to buy a Yellowstone from this undead merchant guy near the beginning.
Huh?
It's
Wait, cat.
Gosh.
Cat, don't eat the notebook. Jeez, what's wrong with you?
Oh man. The thing about the multiplayer in these Souls games is they pretty much break the game for you.
Yeah.
If you're having difficulty with anything or you're not sure where to go, just throw your sign down, give it a minute, someone will summon you, and you will immediately see your path through at least part of the level. They probably unlocked it and just want you to fight the boss, but it's still pretty helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Like the next area I got to, I immediately just put my sign down and kind of went down and killed till I got summoned. And when I got summoned, we went in and fought this big, typical Satan-looking guy with like
Mhm.
big horns and goat legs and stuff. And three of us just slaughtered him, and I did that a few times. I got a ton of souls.
Nice.
And then went and did it myself, and of course I. One, I'm only able to find one guy to summon, and two, when we get in there, the guy almost immediately dies.
No.
The other hard part about like Dark Souls compared to Demon Souls is you can't, like when you're a soul in someone else's world, you can't heal yourself.
Oh, weird.
Which in ways is for the better in terms of there's an evil soul coming in, they can't heal themselves, so you have a better chance against some crazy spect guy who just didn't level himself up and went and got the best armor and weapons everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's also like you got to heal your guys that are with you. So that's kind of a pain. But I eventually got to Blight Town. Blight Town is basically the fifth world from Demon Souls, which
Oh,
is
God.
the swamp area. Yeah. And that's about when I put down this game.
Oh man, that's rough.
Like, I guess I should be glad it's happening so early so I can get it over with, but ugh.
Yeah, I've been watching. I'm a Giant Bomb Premium member, and they've been playing through Dark Souls. After like the first couple of hours, they've been playing through it, and they got to that part in the game, and I was just like, oh god, I was having these horrible flashbacks. Like, no, anything but this.
It's so bad. Like,
It's just so rough. It's like watching them walk through molasses. It's
yeah.
so terrible.
It's guess what? You're gonna walk through these. Those trolls that take forever to kill are all gonna show up, and they're gonna have giant rocks that'll pretty much kill you in one hit if they hit you. So, good luck. Oh, by the way, you're gonna be poisoned, and poison is super aggressive in this game.
Yeah, really, it really. Oh, and you know, there's some shortcut somewhere that will allow
Yeah,
you to get past all of this. You just have no idea where.
and on top of this, because I'm a pyromancer, I'm always looking for the pyromancy merchants.
Hmm.
And I found one guy, and I lucked out somewhere, and I was reading a message board, and it turns out that when I beat this Blight Town area, this guy is gonna go disappear and die.
Oh gosh.
So, like, I have to get everything he has right now,
Oh man.
and then I'll get another merchant. But like, and I think there's like a third merchant, but I have to infect myself with mushrooms or spores or something like that.
Oh, Dark Souls. You're so crazy.
It's nuts. The problem is pyromancy spells are so freaking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
they tend to kill things really quick, and
Yeah.
on top of that, the damage that's done by them, I just found out recently, is not based on your stats. It's just based on the level of your pyromancy hand, which is an item.
Ooh.
So my
I've heard about pyromancy. It sounds like it's kind of hard to start the game, but once you get to a certain point, you just kind of walk through the rest of the game.
man, that would be nice. I'll
Any day now, right?
yeah. I just got to get the urge to get to Blight Town. Like and I guess the worst part about Blight Town right now, you see, I'm not even necessarily to the swamp area. I just went to the swamp area on a multiplayer session.
Yeah.
The part I'm in right now, like I found, the first campfire in it. And the problem is I want to backtrack, and there's this item on this ledge that you have to run and jump to get to it. And I have failed every single time I've gotten there. And then immediately gotten freaking dogpiled on by these poisonous lizardmen things.
Ugh.
So it's, yeah. I don't know. I still like that game. I think they should never do swamp levels again.
Yeah, and I'm sure Dark Souls 2 is going to have, like, the second level is a swamp level.
Ah, yeah, and I got it on pre-order. What's wrong with
Oh,
me?
man. What are you playing Dark Souls on? PC?
PS3. The
Okay.
PC, I started it out there, and I like the mods, but the animations sometimes get off sync,
Oh, yeah.
so I can't tolerate it.
Yeah.
I'm not quite the pro PC on this one, so, but I don't know. I played Demon Souls on PS3 because, I guess it was exclusive, so I've just kind of stuck with that and that
Yeah.
mindset.
That makes sense.
But also, I played a bunch about a game we've talked about way too much already, which is Borderlands 2.
Oh, yay!
I have probably put 20 to 30 hours a week into this game because of the loot hunt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even get into that. I think both my girlfriend and I heard about that, and we're like, nope, can't afford to do that. Have to go to
I'm
work.
I'm so desperate for money right now. I'm like, I would like any of these prizes. Like
Yeah.
5,000, sure, that'll pay for my dog's
Oh,
freaking
a lot of
heartworm
great
treatment.
prizes. It is a really cool idea, and I think it's neat for them to have actual money as a prize for that, but
Yeah.
it just seemed
Well,
rough.
And all the other prizes are great too, like a PS Vita with freaking Borderlands 2, and I can't remember what else, but
Lot.
yeah, I remember Nvidia cards, and then there's like I think this week they have 5 lifetime 2K passes that they're gonna hand out,
Oh, wow.
or maybe it's Gearbox passes. I don't remember which one, but either way, it's still pretty good. So I played a ton of that, and I still don't have a level 50 character. So here's hoping they never put Terramorphous on
Oh, yeah.
on an end boss
Oh,
guy.
jeez.
Oh, I'll get that done. But I now have 2 characters going because I have a set of friends who had been they basically started the characters when the loot hunt got and have been aggressively playing through.
Oh, okay.
So I've been playing Axton and still working on my Zero.
And
I like
really
Axe.
like playing Axton.
He's so much better than Zero. Like,
Everyone's better than Zero.
Yeah.
yeah, my Zero's level 47, and at this
Oh.
point, he dies so much.
Yeah.
Like anytime they put me in a wave fight, I am so screwed. I can't. I
Just a
can't one
glass
hit
cannon.
anything with melee. Yeah, I don't know. I just respect recently to go with the sniper guns thing, so maybe that'll help me be able to
I
complete these things.
I think that's probably the answer. I think the that psycho, what was his name?
Krieg?
Yeah,
Krieg, that's it.
Yeah.
He makes a way better melee
Yeah.
character.
He's fun to play. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that character to be as fun as he is.
yeah. Um, man, yeah. So I played a ton of that, and actually the loot hunt prizes I should mention are pretty good. Because one of them was like a fastball grenade, which I'd never used the fastball series before, and that's literally like it's literally just meant for you to throw at a guy and it hits that one target,
Oh,
but
interesting.
it does an absurd amount of damage. Like the one I have for Zero does like 60,000 damage.
Oh, jeez.
Pretty nice. But I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, and then Moxie's Creamer was that bazooka from the first week, which I'm still using.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was trying not to dwell on the name.
I didn't know that there was actually in-game loot that you were getting. Man.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's how it's constructed: is every day they paint a target. They say, "Go kill this guy." They're going to drop this gun, and they'll drop some sort of special gun prize. It's usually crap. You get that gun, and then they'll have another daily target that is like kill 1,000,000 loaders. They actually did that one day. And so that's a community goal. And if everyone makes the community goal at the end of the week, you get allegedly a really good weapon,
Oh, that's cool.
which is where that fastball and Moxie's Creamer came from.
Yeah.
The sniper rifle they gave out was kind of crap. It's like I think Borderlands 2 has the issue of I have so many golden keys that there's like the only reason to pick up loot people are dropping is to get money, and the only reason to
Yeah.
have money is to gamble. Like there's no
Yeah. Yeah, there's no real reason for it
Yeah.
anymore.
they kind of killed their feedback loop with that. So
Yeah. In sort of a
Hopefully-
fun way, because it's always fun to open that golden chest, and it's like, ooh, what do I get now? Oh, it's all handguns. Okay.
and that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I don't want anything unless it's at least purple, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the stuff you're finding around is never really as good as the stuff you're getting in the golden chest, and they send out so many keys that it's
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to get enough stuff in there, but
Yep.
in a fun enough way where it's not like Diablo 3's auction house, where it's like, yeah, you have to go pay for this stuff to get anything fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Axton's my favorite to play so far.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I actually like playing. Pflux in chat said that she always plays Sirens in Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. That's what my girlfriend plays, and it never seemed like an interesting class until I tried it out in Borderlands 2, and man, that is fun.
It is.
Being able to do like Axton has really interesting crowd control with his special, but it's still really fun with the Siren to just kind of grab and hold people in Borderlands 2. I really like being able to crowd control them that way.
Siren was my original character I was playing with my friends. I like her a lot too.
Mhm.
But then they freaking left her in the dust, and I had to grab my level 20,
Oh,
which was
yeah.
Axton. But I don't know. I like them both quite a bit. But
Yeah, my girlfriend
actually-
plays a Siren and I play Axton. It's actually a really good combo between the two.
yeah, that's so no one messes with you guys.
No, pretty much. We
That's-
lucked into that one.
Yeah, that's the perfect crowd control. Like
Yeah.
I spec'd my Axton out for the two turrets and shields on
yeah.
the turrets.
That's
and
the good stuff.
It's
wonderful.
good.
I'm working on the other tree now that'll give me rockets. So
Man, so many people in chat play Siren. Like everyone. Man,
It's
we're in
so
good company
awesome.
here.
if you're on PC, join my game and
There you go.
help me get to help Zero not die.
Yeah, friend Muse him up on Steam.
I promise I know how to play games.
Yeah.
Let's see. I also played the. I'm gonna take my PSP on a trip with me and just see what's in it.
Oh, nice.
So I started out. I opened it up, and freaking the first game I loaded up was Ark the Lad, and I blame the Hannah for that.
Yeah.
Uh, I love some Ark the Lad, but unfortunately it was like I guess at some point, like okay, here's the deal. I have two Arc the Lad save games. My original one is from years and years and years ago, back when that box set first came out.
Oh yeah.
And that one, I was at the end of the game, all my guys were maxed, and then I realized the reason my summons weren't leveling up was because my summoner had an item equipped that prevented them from gaining experience and only gave it to him.
Oh, fun.
Uh, and I wanted to get to the bottom of that 50-story dungeon that you have to go down and then go all the way back.
Oh, right. I remember talking about that.
Yeah, so Choco is the goal at the bottom of this, because Choco is awesome, because she's a happy little girl that skips and is one of the most powerful summons in the game.
Man, I love old school JRPGs.
It's awesome.
The
Yes.
most powerful party member is this optional party member, and he's a guinea pig.
It is pretty sweet. Let's see. But anyway, so that was my original game, and then I guess at some point I made I made like a new game and didn't get very far, and that was the game I loaded up. So I played that for about 5 minutes.
Oh.
But I love the Arc the Lad. Like Arc the Lad 1 and 2, I think. Like if you're gonna check out the series, just play them both back to back because your characters transfer from 1 to 2. When you start 2, you don't automatically start out with them. You actually start out as a new character who, well, I can't think of the other word for it. He's a pyromancer.
Okay. He's a fire dude.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome, and they have a pretty big twist ending at the end of 1 that I don't think anyone would see coming. But so they have a lot of cool story elements in it they go through. But and then I went to Tactics Ogre. My game that had 110 hours in it, and I decided I was going to try and figure out how to get the Necromancer Cressida, who I didn't get before because I found out there's a hidden faction stat, and I killed too many
Oh, jeez.
Galgastans, something like that.
Of course there's a hidden stat in Tactics Ogre. Why not?
Yeah. And it just so happens there's only like 1 or 2 characters who won't join you because of this hidden stat if you kill too many other factions. And evidently I just grinded on the Galgastinians or whatever they are because like they have a summary page that you can look at that tells you how many of each faction you killed.
Yeah.
And most of them were like 30 or 40, and Galgastan was like 250 of them.
You're just single-handedly massacring.
Screw those guys. So the way you got to get around this, from what I was reading online, basically, I read about a couple ways. One is I could just use the time travel mechanic that you get at the end of the game and go to the very start of the game and go through all the way and make certain story decisions, which will get that. But
Okay.
even with my leveled up guys, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. It still sounds like... How far is this character into the game? Like a good enough amount?
At the end of the game.
Oh, fantastic. Good.
This character's at the very end of
So
the
you're
game.
just replaying the game. It's really New Game Plus.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing: is the game has 3 paths. It is lawful, neutral, and chaos.
Yeah.
And chaos is the freedom path, and that's the path I'm on. And I got the worst ending with that one, but there's a better ending I think I can get through it. But first, I have to reverse this stupid stat. So, what I have to do is I go to a town in Galveston, and I recruit a bunch of Galveston soldiers, and then I take them all into battle and make sure they're low level and unequipped, and then just turn on their AI so they immediately run and try and punch the enemy, and then the enemy kills them, and then I retreat from the battle.
What?
For every Galveston, for every Galveston soldier that goes down, I get 0.1 towards.
Oh my god.
So if I get this correct, you're going to be killing more of their people to raise the faction.
To make her feel better, I killed 2,000 Galgastans.
That's what it's going to amount to.
my
So
God.
I spent a couple hours doing this, and then gave up. And I'll go back to it again, but it's a lot of.
Your conscience took over.
It just doesn't make sense.
Oh my god.
It's I guess they're on my side, so they're happy when they die.
Wow.
It's God, it's the most, as much as I love this game, that is the most ludicrous thing they could have done.
That is the
And
most messed up backwards thing I've heard in a while.
yeah, and that's the only way you can get necromancers in this game. Or warlocks, whatever they're called. I don't remember.
Jeez.
And you got to get one of them to get a lich, or like, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's where I'm at there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's really not worth it.
No, it doesn't sound that way at all. Yeah. So, and that's pretty much all I played this month.
Wow, so, Mina, what you got going on? Other than ritual murder.
I don't think I can top that.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, a Pokemon XY came out. I kind of pulled the knobs,
Okay.
and I may have bought more than one copy of this game.
For everyone listening at home and not watching the video, she may be holding up 4 fingers.
So, I may have purchased a lot of copies, and I may have also been like, oh, hey, do you want Pokemon? I'll buy it for you. And then I might have been doing some crazy stuff, like telling people I need your 3DS code. I went on a crazy week of just like hunting down anybody who had a 3DS. I need your friend code. Add me right now.
Okay.
So, Pokemon XY. It's really, really good. It's so good. I couldn't put it down, and I kind of played way too much of it. I knew I had a problem when I looked at it, and like it had only been out for like a week maybe, and I looked at the hours that I had poured into it, and I was like, oh, 3 digits.
Oh, God.
So let me put this away. Holy smokes. I'm like, I have this many copies, and I've got like hours. I'm like, I need to do something other than Pokemon.
You know, I feel like there's always one Pokemon game that gets everyone. Where it's just like, this is my Pokemon game. I'm not gonna put this down.
It is so good, and the thing is like, I don't know how familiar people are with some of the things that, because Pokemon is like, it's very simple, and then they add all this complicated stuff that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like they add all the like IV, EV,
Yeah.
values where you like try to maximize your Pokemon and stuff. They made all of that stuff that was really, really hard and impossible to get really, really easy.
Ooh, nice.
And during one generation, when they added the shiny Pokemon, and everybody just, it was like you wanted a shiny Pokemon. It doesn't do anything. It's just shiny.
You just gotta get it.
You just gotta get it, catch it. So, in the midst of like all my breeding with eugenics, trying to make the best Pokemon I could possibly make, this is so silly. I got a shiny Eevee.
Ooh, that's like the top one.
That's
That's
like
the one you
best
gotta
one.
have.
That's like the best one because you can turn that thing into like any type of Eevee. Like you can make it a water type, a grass type, an ice type. I mean, so I hit the jackpot on the shiny.
Yeah.
So I was pretty jazzed. I'm gonna move on because I could probably sit here and talk about Pokemon all day. But real quick, some of the things that I really like that they added, the multiplayer in it, really fun, really easy, and it's kind of like they have like this little support type system. So like I'm playing the game and I see my friends list and I see that these people are online and I'm like, oh, so and so's like, online. I'm gonna go give them a buff, so I'll give them an XP buff, or maybe I'll give them an attack buff, or
Oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah. So then, and I mean, they'll send it back to me. So like while I'm running around trying to catch a Pokemon, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna send somebody a capture power and see if maybe they will send it back to me.
Ah.
And usually they do because they kind of get what you're trying to do. It's like,
Yeah.
I want capture power, so I'll give you capture power. Give me
Send that guy right on back.
So, I mean, I have a lot of fun, and I don't know. I really like this Pokemon. There's a lot of good things about it I could go on about. I'm not talking about Goomy running. You're not going to talk about Goomy. There's like this I'll go. All right, I'll talk about Gumi for a second. So, one of the things I noticed on a forum while I was kind of browsing around on like day 2 of Pokemon release, um, is that somebody was talking about this Pokemon named Gumi, and it's this really weird looking slime ball, pink purpley thing.
I'm gonna look it up
And they
here.
were, yeah, they were
Oh,
talking
this
about
adorable thing, yeah.
it's adorable, right?
For those of
And
you in chat, this is watching live. That's what Gumi looks like.
yeah, that thing evolves into another thing, which then evolves into like this dragon, and it's a really good Pokemon, like for like competitive type things. But people started going on this weird like Gumi is our leader, lord, and master, and now they're like, they're like the biggest internet trolls everywhere on every forum you ever go visit, like about Pokemon. You go there and someone's like talking about something else, and you get like a Gumi person will enter the conversation and be like, Gumi's the best Pokemon of all time. And then next thing you know, you've just got like Gumi posts. And
The internet is so weird.
it's so
I love you
weird.
all, but the internet is so weird.
So like they're like praise Gumi and stuff, and I don't know what to say about that. So that's Pokemon. I'm moving on from that.
Okay.
The other game I played, I was playing it last week. I beat it, or not last week. Last time we were on the podcast. I beat it, and I need somebody to help me out with this game. I beat Final Fantasy 13 too.
Okay.
I have no idea what the ending was. Like that
Yeah.
was what happened.
Time travel? I don't
I-
even.
I beat it, and I think I looked at the Twitch chat, and then I was just like, so that's Final Fantasy 13 too, you
That
guys.
happened.
I don't know what happened. I feel like I just wasted a lot of time because it feels like I think there's some people in TVGP who still haven't beaten it, so I'm not going to go into too much. But
Yeah.
I don't understand, and I don't think 13.3 is going to explain anything.
No, I've just sort of resigned myself to not understanding the 13 storyline in general. Because I felt the same way after I finished 13.1 and 13.2, where I was like,
I
okay.
agree. I was like, that's something that happened. Oh, there's the J-pop English version music.
Yep.
Okay.
And the credits, okay. That
Credits,
happened.
The one thing I will go into, like, there was like a platforming part at the end of 13.2, and I was failing a hard time at it. Like, you had to like jump from one block to the next block. I kept
Oh
falling.
god, that was the worst part. Where they kept rotating.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
rotating, and like,
Oh,
I mean,
God. Yeah.
it's like I haven't done this at all in the entire game, and now you're throwing this at
Yep.
me at the very end, and I'm like,
It's
really
one
doing
of those
that.
famous JRPG final dungeons where it's like, congratulations, you're going to be going through a giant dungeon where not only is it something totally new, but every once in a while you run into the strongest enemy in the entire
Oh.
game. Good luck.
Oh my gosh! And if you ran into that thing with the behemoth and the
Yep.
two little cats,
That's the
or
worst
whatever,
thing.
I kept resetting that battle
Mhm.
until I managed to wiggle my way around. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't beat this.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
know what happened in that final dungeon, but I ran into the same thing, which is like I can't do this in this game. I can't do your jumping puzzles.
I was like almost max Crystarium, and I'm getting my butt kicked by that.
Yep.
And I was just like, I can't deal with you, game.
This
I
is
think
too
you-
much.
People were Kappa facing me. They were just like, Kappa, Kappa, look at me and suffer. I was like, this is not funny. This is terrible.
You guys are monsters.
So, I beat that game. So glad to beat it so that way I can play 13.3.
Yeah.
Even though I think the story's not going to matter.
Probably not, but at least you can play as Lightning again.
Right?
That's all I care about.
Yeah, there we go. I played Final Fantasy 14 again. I started a new character on another server. That's a thing I'm doing. And,
That's happening now.
and I really hate the people who are making... Well, not making me do it, but I really hate the people who are all like, come to this server, come play with...
Come on,
like,
it's so much fun over here.
I don't want to level again, but okay, I'm doing it anyways.
Yeah.
So, I I bought it. This isn't an RPG, but it's a pretty niche title, and the only reason why I'm going to bring it up is so that way I can prevent people from buying it. Yeah, no, it's a game called Hometown Story.
Oh, I've heard
Uh,
of this. Yeah.
so, like the thing is like okay, so I buy every Harvest Moon game.
Hmm.
And then when they made that spin-off series with Rune Factory, I really liked it and I really got into it. So when Story came out, I was like, I'll give this a shot because it's another one of those spin-offy type things, and it could be okay. It's um, I don't I don't think there's a lot of content in this game
Oh.
where it has the slowest start ever,
Mm.
and I so like you're supposed to. It's kind of like Racketeer
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's like you own like a store and you put items you collect or whatever inside your store and you sell it to people, villagers. Some actually have portrait faces, some of them don't. So like that means like a named NPC that's obviously a mainish character
Hmm.
as opposed to Mr. Blank Face with weird dot eyes, so like it and like the whole emphasis on the game is basically like the whole, the more you sell to the villagers, the friendlier they become and the more stuff's supposed to happen. And I seem to be caught in like several quest loops that just keep repeating over and over and over and over and over in like a terrible cycle.
Oh, weird.
So like I'm stuck in a loop with this one character for I'm almost positive because I've seen the same quest happen 8 times now, and I don't know if like it's going to go beyond that or if it's just going to stay at that.
Hmm.
Um,
What
the other
platform is this out on?
the 3DS.
Okay.
Um, that's another thing. So I definitely pre-ordered this game, and it came out on the eShop on the right day. However, the pre-order that I had made got pushed back to well into like the end of November.
Oh, weird.
But it came out on the eShop on the right day.
What?
So I was like, I could buy this right now, or I could just wait until the end of
Like
November.
a month and a half.
And I was kind of like, I know, I'll just cancel my pre-order and well, actually, I didn't do that. I lied. What actually happened was I played this game for a long period of time and I was like, you know what? I really don't want to give them money for a pre-order, so I canceled that. That's what
Right.
really happened because I kind of wanted the stuffed plushie that came along with the pre-order.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm not getting that plushie and I'm not giving them more money because this is not a very good game.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly all I played.
Okay.
So Austin?
I played a bunch more Diablo 3 on 360. Yes, Sam, hi. I am almost level 60 on my main, a demon hunter. And I'm at the beginning or halfway through Inferno. And I really have to say, after playing a considerable... Oh, and I started a hardcore character, too. Level 17, I think. Because there's an achievement for getting a level 30 hardcore character. I just figured, why not? Why not try playing that on easy hardcore?
Is the hardcore in this one you die once and then that character's done for,
It
period?
just, yeah, it deletes your save.
Oh.
Yeah, so but that's why I figured I was thinking, well, at the very least, I wanted to play a monk because I heard the monk was always pretty fun. I was like, well, I'll play a hardcore. I'll set it to easy. I'll just grind a little bit more than I usually do. I'll put on, for the 360, the first run came with a helmet that gave you 20 plus 25% experience for every kill. So I was like, I'll just wear that for the entire game. It shouldn't be bad, and it honestly hasn't been that bad. I've gotten into some semi-hairy situations since I can't die. You sort of have to be like, oh, I gotta run away. See you later. And then, try and port back to town whenever you can. But so far it's been okay. It hasn't been as scary as I thought, but I am playing incredibly conservatively. So I really have to say that I think for anyone interested in Diablo 3, this is really kind of the version to get. I heard the PS3 version. Some people at work were saying the PS3 version runs really great, runs as well as the 360 version does. They announced Reaper of Souls for PS4, so it comes with the original and the expansion. So I'll probably pick that up for myself and my girlfriend when that comes up. We can do some cross console couch co-op like we did for Borderlands 2. It's really great. The loot is way better. I love the controls. I love the menu. And it's smooth. It's smooth, and it's Diablo 3 on a console. So, and it has really great couch co-op on a single console. So I think I sort of recommend that over the PC version. I mean, the PC version is obviously going to run a little bit smoother depending on your video card, but and maybe once they come out with the Loot 2.0 system, it'll be more like the console version. But for now, really, that's kind of where you should be for Diablo 3. 2 thumbs up, love it. And I decided that I wanted to play more Dragon's Crown, but I didn't really want to play the PS3 version anymore. My girlfriend and I didn't really get into it playing couch co-op, so I bought the Vita version. And I've been playing some of that for the last couple days. Man, that game really is really great on the Vita. There's a little bit of slowdown here and there, especially when you have 4 party members and they're all throwing spells and whatnot. But man, I feel like the game is really well built to the Vita for how long the levels take. Because each level is, I don't know, Musum, you've played a lot, like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
max.
if that.
Pretty bite-sized. So I really like getting a quest, going into a level, kind of knocking that out, and then just turning my Vita off and saying, all right, I'll get back to that in a little bit. No big deal. So I think that's a great place for it. It looks beautiful on that screen.
How do you feel about the item pickups on the Vita? Like, do you actually do the touchscreen thing? And
I do the touchscreen. So I do the touchscreen for telling your thief dude, Rennie is his name? Something like that. I touch the screen for chests and doors for him to go open, because I find it a little bit faster. But for the stuff in the background, the stuff you can sort of touch and find in the background stuff, I usually just use the right stick for that.
okay.
Just kind of drag it around the screen and.
Well, now that they freaking patched it so that all you need to do is scroll over it.
Yeah, thankfully.
I mean, yeah, because that was really annoying at first.
Yeah. So yeah, I use it sort of half and half. I like the touchscreen stuff. It makes a lot more sense than, especially playing the PS3, using the right stick and the L1 to open stuff was always sort of like, this is just, I feel like you made this for a mouse, and it doesn't feel right. So using the touchscreen feels a little bit more natural. So
Are you doing did you just do your cross save and transfer your elf over?
no, I didn't, because I couldn't get the cross save to work 100% correctly. I was still getting some really weird stuff. I don't think I was fully patched on the PS3 version, because I actually had to, when I downloaded it on the Vita, I actually had to patch it twice to get it up to the newest version. I think there was some version incompatibility, and it had been so long since I played it that I just rolled another elf and went through the tutorial and all that. And I feel like that was a better choice, because going through the tutorial, I was like, oh yeah, you can do, okay, yeah, all right, that's how you play the game. So I think we were only like an hour through on the console version, so I'll probably keep 2 different sets of saves at that point then. So we've got our couch co-op one over in the PS3, and then sort of my solo one over on the Vita. So
Yeah,
should
man,
be.
I can't wait to own a Vita again just so I can get this again. But
Yeah, yeah, especially with the cross save, that seems like it's pretty.
it just
I like that they patched it in afterwards too, because everyone's like, "Man, I wish
Yeah.
that was cross save," and they're like, "Oh, all right, we just did that."
well, and they just recently added crossplay. So,
Yep, there you
sure.
go.
Sounds awesome.
Good on you, Atlas. And
Yeah.
Vanillaware.
Now I just need lots of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Um,
a really good game. Have you like fully investigated your move set in that at all?
no, not really. I feel like every time I play, I keep finding more and more things to do in my moveset. But I'm still very much, kicking and flipping a whole bunch as the elf.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Have you
so
got the knife?
no, I saw. I just hit level 7 or 8, I think, and I saw there was one of the skill cards to make a knife, and I was remembering like, oh, Musim said that was surprisingly good. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
like
to investigate that.
it sounds so lame, but you run out of arrows and then you have this other item. Like it's just an item you equip. So
Hmm.
when you want to use it, you just go through your inventory and select it.
Yeah,
So, but like the knife with the weird defense thing that makes the tornado and all
yeah,
that stuff,
some crazy stuff in that game.
it's pretty great.
Yeah, so I'm. It's a really great game because I've been spending a lot more time with my Vita playing Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, Cinemora. There's so many great PS Plus games. I said, you know what? I'm spending a lot of time with it. I'm sort of laying in bed and playing games at the end of the day. Why don't I liked Dragon's Crown? I never really got into it. Why don't I just buy it on the Vita? I'll support Atlas, which I'm more than happy to do, and just kind of play it a little bit of this kind of bite-sized game here and there. So far it seems like it's working out, and there's so much content in that game that I could probably play this a little bit every day forever.
Yeah, Vanillaware makes their freaking games long.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, don't worry, I 100% at Odin Sphere, so I
Oh
am
my
more than
gosh.
well aware of how much stuff is in those games.
God, I think I got to the second or third character on Odin Sphere and
Oh man, 100% that
took a
game was
break I never came back from.
100% that game was actually really interesting because the end of that was insane. It's just one of the most memorable games on PS2 for sure. That was a great game, man.
I know they have that on the PSN store. Do you know if they have a version of that that works for Vita?
I know you can play it in a PS3 as like a PS2 downloadable.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to investigate.
yeah.
That would be a really really great Vita game.
Because I would really like to give that game another shot, and I only have it on PS. Or wait, no, I do have it digitally. They had a sale last year, and I bought it.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll just go play it on PS3.
yeah. It's a really great game. It's not if you find a walkthrough for. So if you play through the game normally, you get like 75% of the way through. And then there's a couple of special things you need to do as each character to unlock the very end stuff. And it's not terribly obvious about what you need to do. So pulling up a FAQ and just saying, "Oh, I need to go play this character and choose this thing in this area and then just go over here and kill this enemy but not kill this other one." It's not terribly difficult. It's just sort of like, well, I don't think I would have seen that coming.
Hmm.
So, oh man, so good. I like Vanillaware games, and we've talked about it a bunch. So I'm not gonna beat it to death here or anything. But that's all I've been playing. I haven't had a lot of time this month. A lot of working. So let's take our break.
Hmm.
Let's look. Odin Sphere Vita.
Yeah, I just did that a minute ago. I couldn't find anything, but I didn't look
Yeah.
very hard
Yeah.
because I started looking stuff up while you were talking about Pokemon, and then realized I wasn't listening to anything that was being said while I was looking it up. It's like, crap.
It's Pokemon. You already know there's going to be HM leaders in Elite Four.
Oh yeah.
You're going to get a starter Pokemon.
I actually really want to play the new Pokemon. I just have
It
no
is.
money.
And it's actually really good. Like, legitimately, for a Pokemon game, it actually invites a lot of new things and still keeps some of the old. And I don't know.
Man, in 2007, apparently Vanillaware announced that they were gonna make like an HD version of Odin Sphere, and then that was all that you've ever heard.
Oh,
So
that's sad.
that's a bummer.
Isn't that's like their most critically acclaimed game too, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it was the most accessible too. And you get to you get to grow plants that spit out sheep. So
Oh, I
that's
forgot
pretty
about
great.
that.
Oh man, that food system is surprisingly deep because it's like, all right, I'm gonna go in this level and I'm not gonna take any of the experience. I'm gonna feed that to the sheep plant. Then I'm gonna grow this other plant. And then I'm gonna make it into a dish at this other place that gets me like plus 50% experience, and then I'm gonna level up.
Wow.
Oh, so much fun.
Maybe I don't have time for this game.
Yeah. What's great is it's totally optional. I don't think there's anything you have to. I just liked making more food where I'm like, okay, if I give them this thing and then that thing and then I give them a pumpkin, what do they make? Oh, it's this crazy like pumpkin torte. This game's awesome, and it has this crazy like high quality art for all this food.
Mm.
Man, super great. Do it. I don't. I can't find any other RPG releases for this month.
I couldn't either.
Let me try. Let me do one more look here, real quick.
Yeah, I was looking to, well, you guys were talking about something and then again realized I wasn't listening and made myself stop.
Is the Guided Fate Paradox an RPG, or is that a? It's coming. NIS is putting it out, so I'm sort of
Guided-
assuming.
Is that the dating game thing?
Oh, maybe it is. NIS
Maybe.
is putting out a lot of dating games, which is I like. I still haven't played Sweet Fuse yet. I have that downloaded on my Vita.
According to this page, it is an extremely approachable roguelike RPG.
That sounds kind of concerning.
The words approachable and roguelike RPG generally
Yeah,
don't
I was
go
just about to
together.
say that's the weirdest combination of
Yeah.
words I've ever heard for a game.
Sort of opposites there.
You can level up your guy a bunch and then you die and you have to start the game over. Anyone
Yeah.
can do it, right?
Oh, Atlas is putting out Aquapazza. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a fighting game. Never mind. Never
Actually,
mind.
Oh, man.
Oh man, the Adventure Time game is almost out. Yay!
I didn't get the first one. I'm still sad about
I heard
that.
the first one was actually kind of bad.
Oh,
So
okay.
the second one is Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon because I don't know.
I really just wanted, because I think the first one came with the stylus that was the dog,
Oh, awesome.
and I would have paid $40 just
Yeah,
for
I'm
that
surprised I
alone.
didn't buy that.
Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I just dreamed that. But I remember it coming with something pretty awesome.
Oh, there we go. Ease Memories of Celceta. It's coming out for Vita.
Isn't that 3? Or no, that's not 3, is it? What's Ease 3?
Is this Ease 6? I don't even know.
I've lost track of.
There's so many.
Oh wait, Wanderers from Ease? Which Ease did I play? I played one of them. I have no idea what Ease I played.
Oh, I don't even remember. We talked about it for a
Oh,
while.
the Volgana.
Techie.
Yeah,
Is
that's
the one
I
I
played.
played.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Were you the one who bought it for me? Someone bought it for me, and that's the one I played.
Boy, there are no RPG releases this month. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
It looked like everything was coming out like the first week of December to me. 'Cause that's when Bravely Default's coming out, I think, isn't it?
Now it's first quarter. We have it in
Oh.
our news
Yeah.
stories.
Oh well.
Yep.
Okay.
Get ready for that.
Man,
Okay.
well, I guess the new consoles and Call of Duty scared him.
Probably. Okay. You guys ready to do this next segment?
Sure.
For everyone in chat, also put your questions in the chat too if you have any. We'll read them when we get to that section. So we always need more questions. All right, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk RPG releases for November 2013. We only have 2 of them this month. Sort of a light month here in November. Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition comes out for OS X, PC, iOS, and Android. And whoever wrote this here in the show notes said it comes with the Shadows of Amn expansion.
Good enough.
That comes out on 11/15. And what was the first one price? Wasn't that like $15, $20, something like that?
They might have. I think on PC it was 20, and it came with all their extra stuff. And on the iPad they did it for 10. But then if you wanted their extra stuff, you had to buy their $5 a piece
Oh yeah.
expansions.
Either
So you
way,
wind up paying the same thing.
pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And the only other game we got coming out is Ys Memories of Celceta for the PSV, coming out on the 26th. And that's it. Let's move to news stories. Atlas to remain a separate entity from Sega. To remind everyone, Sega purchased Index Corporation, which was the owners of Atlas Japan, recently for some outstanding amount of money. And Atlas is going to remain separate from Sega. Yay! So thankfully they are doing what we were hoping they were going to do. Really interesting / confusing is the deal was done under a Sega subsidiary company name called Sega Dream, who's now going to be renaming themselves to Index Corporation.
What?
So that's a little confusing. Some of the staff, like a Sega COO, is going to be moving over to Index to help run it, while some management staff from Index are staying around after the purchase / migration. So confusing / weird, but yay! And now they just need to announce whatever that countdown is for, so we can either dance in the streets or curse their names. Because it's only going to be one of the two. Persona 5,
like
please.
It'll be 2 countdowns. They're going to announce what they announce, and then we got to wait like a month or 2 for them to announce it for the US.
I will hurt them so much. Next news story here. Square Enix has been talking a little bit lately about the possibility of Eidos making a Final Fantasy game. They say they've discussed but not decided anything, and Toriyama said, quote, "The whole thing about the Final Fantasy series is that for every iteration, for every game we do, we have a different game. So obviously, the development team is different every time, so there's different ideas and different concepts driving it. Obviously, within that framework, having a very different type of team could work. So if we got the right team of people, it could produce something very interesting in the end." End quote. I think that sounds like a great idea. I'd like to see what someone would do with a Final Fantasy game other than Square Enix.
I'd love to see a Western Canadian Final Fantasy. Yeah. Like just that interpretation of like the anime and the crazy philosophic themes they always throw in those games. And
Well, there was that rumor for a while and some leaked stuff of that Fortress game. It was, oh man, what was that company name? They were the ones that made Bionic Commando and Bionic Commando Rearmed. They were making a Final Fantasy 12 sequel. I don't remember what their company name was.
Oh, weird.
But there was always that rumor and those leaked stuff. Grin, thank you, RS Black Rose in chat. Grin Studios was making this thing called Fortress, which everything leaked was, hey, this is Final Fantasy 12, also Chocobos. So that would have been really interesting, and it would, I think someone had floated the idea. I don't know if you guys know much about the Amnesia series, those horror games on PC. The second game wasn't made by the first game's developers, and someone was floating the idea that it would be really cool if, for every new game, an entirely different team made it. I thought that would be really cool for Final Fantasy. It's like, well, this one's Eidos, this one's Capcom, this one's, NIS America, like, this one is Falcom. It'd be really cool to be like, all right, Final Fantasy 17, who's making this one?
Let's store a dream. We want Atlas to make a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Baby
there we
Jesus,
go.
yes.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Tarot cards, demons, Final Fantasy. I love it. And really
it's not
difficult
Persona 5.
decisions.
They just scribbled out the name and wrote Final Fantasy on it.
Yeah, exactly. Or they scribbled the name and wrote Persona 5.
We gave the lead high school character spiky blonde hair, and that works, right? That counts.
Yeah,
we
I'll
go.
take it. Final Fantasy. Oh man.
Oh,
So I
man.
think that would be kind of interesting. I would encourage. Eidos makes really interesting games. I think I'd encourage Square Enix to kind of give the reins to some other different teams. So it'd be really interesting.
I think it's a great idea.
Just had Final Fantasy in Detroit. Next news story here. November's PS Plus has Soul Sacrifice and Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen in it. And they're both free. Yay! So Soul Sacrifice for the PS Vita. Supposedly a really great game that I have not yet played at all. I need to get on that. And Dragon's Dogma is so good.
It is.
Oh man, you need to play that game, everyone, and it's free.
I still haven't bought it. I'll totally be downloading it.
Yep. So, and now you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, so good. Sorry, I was losing my voice here drinking. And next news story here: Bravely Default gets closer to a release date. We have a release window now. Square Enix, in one of their earnings calls, says that it's coming out for calendar Q1, which will be somewhere between January and March for them. So, yay! We're getting closer. Woo! I need it. Need it in my 3DS, please. And our last news story here, our super bummer of the month. South Park Stick of Truth gets delayed again for the 4th time?
I've lost count.
Something? Obsidian? I love Obsidian, but man, they do need a bunch of time to kind of crank out a really great game. Via the Ubisoft blog, a quote from South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone, quote, "We always wanted the game to feel like you're actually in an episode of South Park. Getting the game up to the crappy standards of the show has been a real challenge, and we're excited to say it's taken way longer than we thought it would." End quote. So,
So
good on
weird
them
to
for keeping a good attitude about it, but I just hope it still comes out. The gameplay videos they just released were really, really promising. It pretty much looks like Super Mario RPG, and I can get behind that. So, all right, let's move to emails here, and hopefully some chat questions if anyone has them. First email here is from Richmond. He says, "Greetings to the PUP trio." Hello, sir.
Hey.
Salutations.
I'd just like to say that I'm enjoying getting your responses to my questions. It's like writing a letter to a friend, but what I get in return is a podcast. I like that thinking. This is a very interesting pen pal relationship we have here. On to my question. What is your opinion on how audio logs are used in games? Why aren't more RPGs using it? I appreciate the sweeping soundtracks they're usually playing in the overworld, but I won't mind audio logs in the background. I prefer it over reading paragraphs of text outlining the history of the world or explaining a tutorial, for example. That's a really interesting question. I don't know if I've ever thought of it like that. That would be kind of neat.
It seems like a lot of RPGs don't have voice acting in the first place, and
Yeah.
I think it's usually just kind of a budget issue because you have normally like take BioShock Infinite for instance. You're looking at like a 12 to 20 hour game depending how you play it and what you grab. So 12 to 20 hours worth of audio, whereas an RPG you're looking at a 40 to 100 hour game.
Yeah, 100 plus maybe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're kind of lucky that we get voice acting in the Final Fantasies. Those are our AAA RPGs that we get, and
Yep.
kind of the only one in existence now in a way.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the voice acting in Atlas games are typically really good too.
yeah, that's true. And they kind of pick their moments there, and I think that helps. But
Yeah.
I think the other problem is RPGs don't always get the kind of critiques they need in their reviews, and that the reviewers just either bashing on them for being an RPG or something else, instead of getting upset with them for doing these text info dumps that are incredibly unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, you get it so much in freaking RPGs of, let me give you a 5-page booklet on the world before we start the game. No,
Yeah,
just-
and unfortunately, it's not something cool like the Codex in Alpha Protocol or the Mass Effect series or something where
Yeah.
you can sort of go read it at your leisure.
yeah. Well, and your character is going to be clueless to begin with, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems that'd be a really interesting idea. I don't know. I don't know how useful it may be, other than trying to get away from talking to every NPC in town. But maybe it would be a more annoying version of this is what I did in my day. I sell apples in the town. You know, like maybe it would.
I would love,
sort of go the other way.
I'd love for them to be able to afford more voice stuff in voice acted games, especially in the Japanese area of the world.
Yeah. P Flux in chat said, "Could you imagine if all of Dragon's Age was voice acted? All the books and stuff you find? Holy hell!" That is like some sort of poorly voice acted nightmare.
Man, the triple A dream would be get Stephen Fry to voice act all the books.
Oh well, I take that back. That'd be okay.
Press play on the book, go to bed.
Yeah. Man. All right, let's move on to our next email here from Adam HD. Says, "Hey guys and gal, hello.
Yay!
Just wanted to say thanks for the awesome podcast. I'm a big TVGP fan as well as a big Carousel fan, but it's nice to have a monthly podcast that touches on nothing but RPGs. Thank you for listening. I was just listening to the recent podcast and had to laugh a little when Musim was talking about Dark Souls. Not to discourage him, but the Bell Gargoyles fight is still considered the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
I'd say that is realistically 15 to 20% of the way through, maybe less, lol.
Yeah.
So, whoops.
I figured. It was pretty discouraging the first time I died on them.
Yeah. Says it's a long game. My first playthrough is about 75 hours. Hopefully Musim sticks with it, as I believe Dark Souls is one of the best games of this generation. I recommend it to anyone else out there who has yet to play it. It is one of the hardest games out there, but as rewarding of an experience as a game can be. I agree with that after playing Demon Souls, where that first time you beat that first boss, that like slimy, squidgy, speary sword thing. That was just like, yeah, it felt like you beat an entire game. You're just like, yeah, woo, I'm the best. Oh, that was just the first level. Okay. Phalanx, thank you to bid you farewell in chat. He says, I'm actually doing a third playthrough as we speak. Wow. I got the 50 FPS, 60 FPS mod working on my PC, as well as some other graphical enhancements / mods, and it's honestly like playing a whole new game. Anyhow, take care, guys, and thanks again for the awesome podcast. Thank you very much for writing in, and I own Dark Souls on 360, and I don't think I can. I played Demon Souls, I put my time in. I'll probably buy Dark Souls 2 just to support, but...
You want to hear something sad? If I'm only 15-20% of the way through the game, then I've already put 20 to 30 hours into it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That math is not adding up here. Alright, moving on to the next email here from Oxnard. Sup, pups? Sup? Moderately long-time listener, first-time writer here. I don't know what moderately long-time listener is, but thank you for listening. I'd like to begin by saying that I absolutely love the shows, both TVGP and PUP respectively. Shout out to Knobs and the Hannah as well. You guys are incredibly informative and entertaining bunch. As for myself, I tend not to game nearly as much, but that's okay. I'm content to live vicariously through your own virtual exploits instead. We are here to serve. On to my questions. I love me some Tales games. Yes, Pup does too. I played Symphonia and Abyss. Problem is, I don't have time for drawn-out story arcs. I'm much more interested in meaty couch co-op sessions with friends on the weekends. Are there any action RPGs out there which might showcase the best of the Tales multiplayer shenanigans without the lofty narrative? Feel free to tack on tactics games, brawlers, or classic RPGs if you think they fit the bill. Unfortunately, Dragon's Crown won't do, as we are a bunch of prudes, and he says parenthetically, LOL. Renning109 in chat says, Vesperia? Which is about what I was just about to say. You should play Vesperia, because it's so good. But I know you sort of don't want more Tales games, so... Couch co-op. There's, for 360, a game that nobody played. God, it was called Trusty Bell in Japan. Why do I always remember the Japanese title of games? And I don't remember the American ones. The one about Chopin.
Oh, Eternal Sonata.
Eternal Sonata has a great two-player co-op. Story is super dumb, and you really don't even need to pay attention to it. So, if you just want to play a cool light dark game with 2-player couch co-op. Really, really great. Renning 109 says Eternal Sonata is harder on PS3. I didn't even know that. So check that one out if you want a more difficult version of Eternal Sonata, and it's beautiful. Oh man, so pretty. What other co-op ones?
I'm trying to think, man. Can Mass Effect 3's multiplayer count? Because that
Maybe technically.
I don't know if that's couch co-opable though. You might have to do that over line.
Diablo 3. There you
yeah,
go. There's
yeah.
virtually no story in that thing.
That's all fighting. From what Joey showed me.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think. I feel like we were talking about this a couple episodes ago, where we were saying, "Oh, there needs to be more co-op stuff." Poke Chop Salad in chat says, "What about White Knight Chronicles?" Never played that, but I heard the second one is good, and the second one comes with the enhanced version of the first one. And I've heard that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've really wanted to check that out.
I can see Mina looking her collection right now, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping she comes up with something.
I don't have any couch co-op RPG like games.
Final Fantasy
over here.
9, if you've got a PS3, and download
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, that's a lot of. If he doesn't want talking, though.
Yeah, but you can kind of skip through most of that.
Gosh, what else is there? There's Shining Tears. It's an old PS2 game. I think it works out really well for couch co-op.
Are there any good co-op SRPGs? I feel like there really aren't. There's that versus mode in the Final Fantasy Tactics games. That's okay, but it's not really.
Yeah.
It's not really an extended thing.
Man, I don't know about SRPGs. Secret of Mana, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Although you gotta have some open-minded people. Susie refused to play that with me after a couple sessions.
Yeah, it's a little longer in the tooth. It's not bad. It's just.
Yeah.
What about brawler, like RPG-based brawlers? Borderlands 2. That's actually we've talked about that a bunch. That's sort of the quintessential one right now.
Yeah.
Other than Dragon's Crown, I'm trying to think of any RPG brawlers that would be really good.
Well, here's one that's not anything we've named so far, and it'd be restricted to PC, and that's the Neverwinter Nights series.
Oh, there you go.
Those are fantastic multiplayer games.
Yeah.
And they have just gobs and gobs and gobs of freaking downloading or free downloadable scenarios you can get online just for anything.
Yeah.
Like they have sci-fi mods for the thing, I mean, it's people have done some crazy stuff.
Poke Shop Salad in chat says Fist Puncher on 360. I guess that's a game. I haven't. I don't really know what that is, but you can go check that out, I guess. I don't know. That's sort of been the problem with a lot of RPGs, and something that I know we've talked a lot about on the show is us with our significant others. I know we'd like to play more RPGs, especially, I played hundreds of hours of Borderlands 2 with my girlfriend playing couch co-op. And I'd love to do that with a lot more RPGs, sit down for 40, 60 plus hours and play something, but there just aren't enough of them.
Yeah. I know Soul Sacrifice is multiplayer, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
But I don't know. I've never played it, so.
Yeah. We will find out soon.
And there's another PSP one that actually works on the Vita network. It's God Eater?
God Eater Burst, I think, is the one that works between the two. Yeah, that's supposed to be really good.
That game's not terrible.
It's not
I played it for I played it for a while. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. All right, moving on to his second question. He says, second question, chaos theory scenario. What if a Tales game was made distinctly for multiplayer co-op? Devs could split screen the towns and dungeons a la Four Swords, institute fetch quests and more elaborate puzzles. In exchange, they could pull back on the narrative, deliver a lighter, more comprehensive story, and perhaps dash in a few rival villain parties like rival trainers in Pokemon. What do you think? Good idea. Thanks for reading my letter. P.S. Are you guys planning to do more spoiler casts? I like those. As they come along, yeah.
We keep not beating the same things.
Yeah, that's the problem. We keep not finishing RPGs, so that's sort of our
Uh,
problem. Um,
ooh, I thought of another one
But
for the now
um,
last question. The torchlights.
yeah.
yeah, good one. Yep.
My opinion on that making the Tales games like that, I would think if they were to do that, they would probably be better off making it like an offshoot because I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I play a Tales game, I kind of go in knowing, okay, I know what the battle system's kind of going to be like.
Hmm.
I kind of know that I'm going to have this young kid join. I'm going to play the cool character. The cool
Yeah.
girl's going to enter. I don't know if it's like a pattern that I've built around for the Tales series, but I walk in knowing I'm really going to love it because it fits everything that I want.
And you're gonna eat all those crazy skits, and you're gonna do a lot of
Right. The
cooking.
the skits and the
Yeah.
cooking and the
All the
battle
titles.
system. Um, but what he is saying, I do like the idea of it. I just would probably maybe make it a different series, not part of the Tale series.
Yeah, Renning109 in chat actually likens it to Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which I think
Yeah.
is really interesting. And Nuke Classic,
New
in
classic.
New Classic. Aha, I get it. That's a good one. Actually brings up a good point that with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, the first one that required the Game Boy Advances and everything. Typically, those are really good games that require a couple of people to be in it for the long haul. And for some people, especially as we get older, it's easier with online multiplayer and all that. But especially as we get older, it's going to be harder and harder to find that sort of group of people to say, all right, it's this week, it's a Saturday, let's get back into Crystal Chronicles. Those are typically really great games, but they have problems of the audience.
For Crystal Chronicles, I had the really good experience where the people who wanted to play it actually were there and sat with me. So
Hmm.
I found that series to be, or that game, to be really fantastic, and I enjoyed it and I loved it. And then when I tried to go back to it again by myself, I realized that there was a huge problem when you don't have the people sitting right beside you to join
Yeah,
in.
Yeah.
The game loses a lot of its fun.
yeah.
I'll tell you, I've also noticed, like, I love the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles game, and I played a ton of it with my friend Dave way back in the day.
Hmm.
But the problem I've noticed with most couch co-op stuff is, and this is a personal brain problem I have, is when I'm playing with someone else, I want to skip all the dialogue and all the story and just get to the us doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And I'm
I
the
don't
reader.
like if you put me by myself, yes, I will read the game for hours and hours on end. If you put
Yeah.
me with other people, suddenly I am just the most impatient person in the world.
Well, and there's always one person in your group that's always in the background, like blah blah blah. Oh my god, I just want to shoot more stuff. It's like okay, 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 okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really wish there were more co-op enabled RPGs in general. I feel like there's a great experience there. I know Musum, you and Susie have experienced a lot of Final Fantasy IX together, and that's I feel like that's a really great experience for two people to sit there and go through an RPG together. Um,
And
but
that was one of the few instances where I was playing with someone else and we were very involved in the story.
yeah, and it's great when that happens because both of you are together and really
Yeah.
invested in it. But it happens so infrequently with RPGs. So, our last email here is from Deller from Oregon, or Oregon. I don't, whichever one. I forwarded this on. He or she sent this over to TVGP earlier today, and I thought it was a really great question. So, I'm going to ask it here on this show as well. It says, Dear Boston, longtime fan of TVGP and PUP. Thank you. The announcement of Final Fantasy VI coming to Android has gotten me interested in playing an RPG or SRPG on my phone. The obvious choices are Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V, but I am unfamiliar with those titles. Your Job Fiesta stories have me leaning towards Final Fantasy V. On consoles, I've mainly played Square RPGs and SRPGs, but I've also enjoyed others such as Wild Arms 3 and Stella Deus Gate of Eternity. What is your recommendation for good RPG or SRPG for Android? While I appreciate a good soundtrack, I will likely play this with the sound turned off. Thanks for the hours of entertainment and keep up the good work.
So I'm confused. Did Stella Deus come out for Android? Is that
No,
what he just said?
I think he is just saying here are the games in general that I've enjoyed. I said on TVGP you kind of can't go wrong with Final Fantasy 4 or 5. They're both different from each other enough that I don't know if I would want to pick one or the other, but 5 is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games because I'm weird. But and Renning in chat says Final Fantasy 5 is greater than Final Fantasy 4.
He's wrong. He's wrong.
I know a lot of people really love 4, and I've never had the affinity to it that a lot of people have had, but it's really great.
I like the story better in 4. I like the gameplay better in 5.
There you go.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
So there have been a couple of people who they don't play video games, but they downloaded Final Fantasy 3, and they came up to me and they're like, "Have you ever heard of this game called Final Fantasy 3 before?" And I looked at them and I was like, "I may have heard of it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it's really fun. You get to walk around and you level these mages." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So a lot of people who don't even know the Final Fantasy series or video games even were enjoying 3 a lot because it doesn't really have too much of a story, and it's kind of like a time waster almost on the phone, kind of like
that final dungeon though is just the hardest. Oh god,
it's insane.
And the rest of it was really good, but man, whew. I know, I had mentioned the only other one I know, I haven't played a lot of RPGs on my phone. Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions is really good, and it's really great for smartphones. I've heard a lot of great things about the Xenonia series. I think it's Zenonia. There's like 4 or 5 of them out now. And apparently it's just a really good classic 16-bit RPG. Do you guys know of anything else that's out on mobile devices that...
Well, there's but anything Soft is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned on the show too. I said, well, either way you should play Game Dev Story.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then all of the rest of them because they're all really pretty good.
Did we ever get Game Dev Story 2 over here?
No, I don't think so.
Man, that's lame.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think Android. Like my brain always goes to the Infinity Engine style games with Shadowrun Returns and Baldur's Gate and all that.
Yeah.
Shadowrun Returns I think is an excellent game. Man, Stella Deus is such an odd like in a way it's a very like it's not an odd like SRPG, but in a way it's very odd.
Well, what's funny is his PS is side note. Since Atlas love abounds on your podcast, I assume you have played Stella Deus Gate of Eternity on the PS2. If you have not, drop everything you are doing and go play that game. So I honestly I think that's one of the few Atlas games I haven't played.
I bought this when I was just buying everything that Atlas put out.
Oh yeah.
Back in those mythical days where I somehow thought I had extra money.
Yeah.
But Stella Deus I remember it being a game I liked, but it was also, like, it's one of those games you got to read a games fact for, because there's a certain character that you have to do a lot of very specific things and lose certain battles near the beginning of the game if you want to get him at the end of the game. And like you have to kill this one boss by doing like 400% damage to him or something like that. And I think that was about the point where I gave up on the game for a bit. But it's neat because it's all hand sprite art. Its costumes are neat. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
I had to double check and make sure that this was also on Android. There's an RPG called Adventure Bar Story, which looks like on Android it's $3.57. That's a not. I guess Android prices things weird. I have no idea. It's kind of interesting because rather than like leveling up from killing monsters, you kill monsters for loot that you then turn into food, and then you eat the food for XP.
Hmm.
So you actually level up by eating food, and you
Weird.
make money by selling that food also in your store. Well, anyways, it's got a crafting type system with the food, and it's really interesting. I really like it. Um, it's got really good pacing. It looks like they have like a light version or a free version that you can try out before you get the paid version, but it's one of those random ones that I found while looking on the iOS store, and I downloaded it and was surprised that it was really good. So,
Okay, I do have a recommendation for Android that you can debate it whether it's an RPG or not, but there's a tabletop game series called the Arkham Horror series. Um, it's basically a randomized Cthulhu game.
Oh, interesting.
Like you're kind of exploring a mansion, and generally you'll have an objective, and there will be a DM fighting you. But they have this in Android form that's really cool and really good. If I owned an Android, I would buy it. I think it's like $10, and they'll probably have a dozen scenarios in it, and
Actually,
got to do a lot of stuff.
that reminds me. Mentioning tabletop, we didn't mention Knights of Pen and Paper.
ooh,
That's an RPG, right?
I really like that game.
Yeah, that was really good. I think it's on Android as well. I know it's on PC and I know it's on iOS. I'm fairly sure it's on Android, but man, that was a solid game and actually really relatively or really cheap. So really, 2 thumbs up on that one. But I guess to who wrote in, I guess try some of those and let us know. I don't have an Android device, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are a bunch of really good mobile RPGs out there. So give them a shot and let us know what you find. Let us know if any of it's good. And that's all of our emails and tweets and whatnot this week. So whoops. We got Renning 109 just asked a last minute question here. So how do you guys feel about when a popular RPG franchise has a spin-off into something completely different, such as Persona into Persona 4 Arena?
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's always really interesting to see, some crazy Final Fantasy spin-off puzzle game, or, Persona 4 Arena was really, really great. Sort of combined two of my favorite companies, so.
I really like it when games do that sort of thing because it brings in a new crowd of people who normally maybe they were just like, oh, I only play fighting games, and then they start playing the Persona 4 Arena and they're like, what is this all about?
Yeah.
And then they start asking me questions about Persona 4, and it's really interesting that I find that I got a lot of people who were into fighting games talking to me about an RPG when they absolutely hate RPGs.
Yeah.
But they were really into the characters, and they were like, so tell me about Yukiko. I want to know everything about Yukiko. Tell me about Yukiko. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go into her. But I really appreciate it when they do that sort of thing. Plus, you either have a hit or a miss, and I mean, it gets me into fighting games, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
I for the most part like it. Like in the Persona case, it worked. And we have regular Persona RPGs that are more of the traditional Persona style that are coming out and that have been out.
Yeah.
And that helped it. But then you look at a case like Front Mission. Those are some tactics games I love. And, I loved the idea of a live action version of it, even though about 50% of that game was horrible.
Yeah.
But then the problem is when we never get another Tactics one released in North America again.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of the case. And that's happened. It seems like there's another series or two that's happened with. It looks like that would have been Shadowrun's fate, but luckily Kickstarter intervened.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I loved Dirge of Cerberus in its own broken, horrible way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually like it, but I don't like it when it's, again, just the kind of death of it being towards somewhere near its roots,
Yeah. All right, the Gumi chat is getting a little intense in chat here, so let's wrap this episode up. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com. Email us fans@pickingupthepixels.com. Tweet us at pickingupPixels. And don't forget, you can watch us live at twitch.tv/E1M1Network. If you'd like to visit Musum, you can listen to his show at thecarouselpodcast.com. And if you like his music, you can visit listentomusum.com or musum.bandcamp.com? Question mark? Is all that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I zoned out. I'm sorry.
And Mina, you can find her at twitch.tv/Minako Rocket. That's Minako Rocket. And thank you very much for just peeps.
It was a blast.
Thank you, and make sure to go to our forums. I also really want to thank our turnout is like huge this week. Like we got so many people in here.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone in chat. There was a ton of people chatting about more things than just Gumi. So
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, Renning.
Yeah, definitely join our live stream. And if not, we archive it on Twitch and on YouTube, so you can see all the crazy fun there. But thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us in chat, and we'll see you all next month.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, sorry, New Classic. I didn't see that you put a giant question in there.
I copied it. So
Okay.
I will send it to you right now.
Okay, yeah, just email it to me and I'll send it on over. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us in chat here. This is easily the largest viewing. All 15 of you are here watching us live stream the show. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you next month. Bye.